Have you ever paused for a moment and really thought about how you carry yourself? There is a special way of holding your body and moving through the world that can make a woman feel truly comfortable, deeply relaxed, and very close to you in just a few minutes. The most beautiful part of this is that it has nothing at all to do with being rich, famous, or having the kind of looks you see in magazines. You do not need a closet full of expensive clothes, a shiny luxury car in the driveway, or a long list of big prizes you have won. You do not need to memorize clever lines, use complicated dating plans, or try out tricks meant to fool people into liking you. In fact, many of the things that men spend years and years trying to get perfect actually have very little to do with what really makes a woman feel good when she is standing there with you. We are a group of caring experts who spend our time looking at how people feel, how attraction works, how relationships grow, and the quiet patterns that bring human beings together. Today, I want to talk with you about a simple way of just being that most men totally miss. Even though it is simple, it can have a huge effect on how a woman feels when she is around you. Before we dive deeper into this, if you find these kinds of heart-to-heart talks helpful, please make sure you stay connected with us so you do not miss our future chats. I would truly love to get to know you a little bit better too. Please tell me where you are watching from today. What city or country are you calling home right now? Also, do you really believe that one simple way of acting can totally change how another person feels when they are with you? Please share your heart in the comments because I am honestly curious to hear what you think about this. What we are going to talk about today is not about pretending or putting on a mask to be someone you are not. It is about understanding a special quality that builds trust, comfort, and a natural pull between people. Once you really see it, you might start looking at how people connect in a whole new way. Most men make a big mistake when they are trying to get close to a woman they really truly like. They fall into a trap of thinking that attraction is like a prize they have to win by putting on a show. They think they have to wow her with big stories about how successful they are, talk about all their big wins, or constantly try to prove why they are worth her time. Some men try to act like they are much more important than they feel inside. Others talk way too much because they are scared that if they are just regular and quiet, they will be forgotten like a leaf in the wind. The sad part is that this way of acting often does the exact opposite of what they want. What many men do not see is that a woman usually feels something in her heart and her body before she even understands it in her head. Long before she starts thinking about your words, or comparing your traits, or deciding what her opinion of you is, her body is already reacting to being near you. This happens so fast, often in the very first moments of meeting someone new. That reaction is not based on how much your watch cost or what your job title says on a business card. It comes from a place that is much deeper inside us. Every single person carries a little system inside them that is always watching the people around them. Without even thinking about it, a woman's heart and body are asking some very important questions. Can I just relax when I am with him? Does he feel calm like a quiet lake? Does he seem like the real deal? Is there something about the way he acts that makes me feel safe and at home? She might never say these questions out loud to anyone. She might not even know her brain is asking them. But these questions matter more than almost anything else in how she feels about you. This is why so many men get so confused. They spend all their energy trying to say the perfect words while totally ignoring the feeling they are creating in the room. In so many cases, that feeling is worth 1,000 words. The reason this is so important is that we as human beings are built to look for safety before we look for anything else. Long before a crush starts, before trust grows, and before a deep heart connection begins, our inner system is quietly deciding if someone feels safe to be near. This happens all by itself. It is not something a woman has to sit down and figure out with a pen and paper. Her body feels it before her mind even has time to look at the facts. For thousands of years, our ancestors stayed alive by being very quick at knowing the difference between danger and safety. Those old instincts are still alive inside us today. even though our lives look a lot different now than they did a long time ago. When a woman meets a man, her inner system is looking at things most men never even think about. Does he seem steady, or does he seem jumpy? Does he respect the space between us? Does he feel real, or does something just feel a little bit off? Can I let my guard down around him, or do I feel like I need to keep my walls up? This is why some men can make a woman feel comfortable right away without doing anything big or loud. They are not using magic. They are not acting. They are just sending a message through their presence that lets another person feel at ease. What makes this even more interesting is that this quality is not just one thing. It is actually three big pieces that work together like a team. Each piece changes how a woman feels about you in her heart. When you put them all together, they create a space that makes trust, comfort, and real connection grow naturally. The first piece is about how you move your body. The second piece is about the way you look at her. The third piece is about something that most people are actually afraid of, but very few people truly get. Together, they create a feeling that many men work for years to find, without realizing how simple it can be. The first part of this way of being is learning how to move slowly and with purpose. This sounds like a very small thing, but most people never give it a second thought. Many men move through their day with a lot of hurry. They rush into conversations. They rush to fill up any quiet gaps. They rush to try and look good. They rush because they are worried they might miss a chance or make a big mistake. The big problem is that rushing says a lot more than most people think. When a man looks hurried, or like he can't sit still, or like he is trying too hard, it creates a lot of tightness in the air instead of comfort. Even if he is a very nice man with a good heart, his fast energy can make the other person feel a lot of pressure. A woman might not know why she feels a little bit tight or nervous, but her inner system sees the rushing and reacts to it right away. Now, moving slowly does not mean moving like you have no energy or no spark. It doesn't mean being stiff like a board or being scared to move. It just means that when you do move, you do it because you meant to. Every step and every reach feels like it was on purpose. Instead of jumping at every little thing, you seem like a tree with deep roots that stays steady. This matters because moving in a calm way sends a very big message. It tells her that you are okay with who you are. It tells her that you aren't begging for her to like you. It tells her that you can handle your own feelings instead of letting your feelings pull you all over the place. Think about the people in your life who make you feel totally relaxed. They almost never seem like they are in a huge rush. They take their sweet time. They listen to what you say before they start talking. They walk through the world with a sense of peace. When a woman feels that kind of presence, something starts to shift inside her. Her walls start to come down. She stops feeling like she is being pushed. She starts feeling safe enough to just be her true self around you. And that feeling is much more attractive than most men could ever guess. What makes moving slowly so strong is that it shows respect without having to say a single word. When a man is always rushing or cutting people off or trying to force things to happen faster, it can feel like he cares more about what he wants than the person he is with. But when he slows down and takes his time, the message is the opposite. It shows he has patience. It shows he is in control of himself. Most of all, it shows he respects how the other person is feeling. This is one big reason why men who are truly sure of themselves often look calmer than anyone else in the room. They don't feel like they have to make things go faster. They aren't trying to win every second. They know that a real connection can't be forced or pushed. It grows on its own when both people feel safe enough to stop pretending. If you have been liking this talk so far, please make sure you stay connected with our group. We love looking into how people think and how hearts connect in a way that helps you find real confidence instead of just using games. Now let's keep going. A woman really notices when a man is at peace with himself. She sees when he isn't always looking for a good job or a pat on the back. When you move with patience, sit with ease, and let things happen when they are ready, you make a space that feels emotionally safe. The funny thing is that most men think being confident means being loud and taking up all the space. They think it means being the boss or the person everyone is looking at. But the truth is that the strongest kind of confidence is often very quiet. It shows up in the man who does not panic, does not rush, and does not feel like he has to run the whole show every minute. And once a woman feels that calm vibe from you, she becomes much more open to the second piece, which might be even more powerful than the first one. This piece is found in how you look at her and the feeling that look creates. The second part is what we call the kind gaze. It is not a stare. It is not that super intense look some guys try to use because they think it makes them look tough or strong. And it is not the shy habit of always looking at the floor because you are too nervous to look someone in the eye. The kind of look we are talking about is right in the middle. Most men get this part wrong because they are too worried about what they want to get. They look at a woman hoping she will think they are cool, or hoping she will give them a sign that they are doing okay. But people are very good at feeling that needy energy under the surface. Even if your words sound big and brave, the feeling in your eyes tells a different story. A strong but kind look comes from a very different place. Instead of looking at her to get something back, you look at her because you are truly happy to be sharing that moment with her. You are right there. You are really listening. There is no pressure and no secret plan. This makes the experience feel totally different for her. Instead of feeling like she is being tested, she feels seen. Instead of feeling like she has to put on a show to impress you, she feels like she is enough just as she is. That feeling is very rare because most people spend their time thinking about what they want to say next instead of really paying attention to the person in front of them. The secret is not really in your eyes, it is in how you are thinking. When you are okay with yourself and you are honestly curious about another person, your look naturally becomes warmer and more welcoming. And when a woman feels that you are really there with her, trust starts to sprout like a flower because she feels you aren't trying to be somewhere else. What makes this kind of look so strong is how it makes the other person feel. When a woman feels she has your full attention but doesn't feel pushed by it, she starts to let go and relax. Most people spend their days around others who are busy with their phones, or in a hurry, or only thinking about themselves. Real, deep attention has become a very rare gift. That is why it stands out so much when someone gives it for real. A strong but kind look doesn't say, "Look at how cool I am." It says something much more important. It says, "I see you. I am here. I am listening." That feeling builds a bridge that words by themselves just can't build. Many men think that to get someone to like them, they have to say the perfect things. They spend hours worrying about what stories to tell or how to be funny. But some of the biggest moments between two people happen when no one is saying anything at all. They happen when someone feels understood and valued in a simple, human way. This is also why being real matters so much. If you look at a woman while secretly wanting her to tell you how great you are, she will feel that tightness. But when your attention comes from a place of really liking the moment, it feels easy. There is no show. There is just you and her. As this feeling grows, something cool happens. The talking becomes less important than the connection itself. You stop worrying about every second of silence. She stops feeling like she has to keep talking to keep you interested. Both of you just become comfortable being together. And that leads us to the third piece, which is the one that scares most men the most. The silence. Not the kind of silence that feels weird or heavy, but the kind of quiet that builds trust and makes people feel very close. The third part of this way of being is learning to be okay with the quiet moments. This is where a lot of men have a hard time because silence makes them feel jumpy. The second a conversation slows down, they feel a big push to say something, anything. They start digging for things to talk about, or telling random stories, or asking questions that don't really matter just to stop the quiet. But that fear of silence is actually what makes things feel awkward. A comfortable silence is a whole different thing. It is not empty like a hole. It is not tight. It is not a sign that things are going wrong. Instead, it is a moment where two people can just be together without needing to perform. In many ways, being able to be quiet together is one of the best signs that you are truly starting to feel comfortable with each other. Think about your very best friends or your family. You don't feel like you have to talk every single second you are with them. You can just sit on the porch or in the car and enjoy being together without needing to fill the air with noise. That level of comfort makes a person feel safer than words ever could. This is very powerful in the world we live in today. Most of us are surrounded by noise all the time. Our phones are buzzing, there are videos playing, music is loud, and there are a million things trying to grab our attention. Because of all that noise, a person who is okay with being quiet stands out in a good way. When a woman sees that you aren't scared of a little pause, she feels your confidence. She feels that you are steady inside. She sees that you are happy just being you. And when someone is happy being themselves, it makes it much easier for everyone else to feel happy and relaxed too. That is why silence, when you handle it with a calm heart, is much more than just a lack of talking. It is a space where trust and a deep pull toward each other can grow in peace. When these three things, moving slowly, the kind look, and being okay with silence, all come together, something very special happens. They all send the same message to a woman's inner safety system. They tell her that she doesn't need to be worried. They tell her she can take a deep breath and relax. And when people feel safe enough to relax, they start to show who they really are on the inside. This is not a trick to make someone like you. It is about knowing how humans react to a calm and real presence. A person who is always in a rush makes others feel tight. A person who is distracted makes others feel far away. But a calm person makes a space where a real bond can grow. There is even a science part to this. When people feel comfortable with someone, their body starts making special chemicals that help with trust and bonding. It's like a feel-good signal that tells the body to stop being on high alert and start being open. This is why a woman might suddenly seem a lot warmer or more interested or more relaxed without either of you even planning for it to happen. You might start to see little signs that she feels this way. Maybe she smiles more easily at you. Maybe she looks into your eyes just a little bit longer. She might lean in closer when you are talking. Her voice might get a bit softer. She might play with her hair or seem like she is really listening to every word you say. These are small things, but they show that her walls are coming down and she feels good being near you. These signs are important because they are natural. They aren't something she is trying to do. They just show up when she starts to trust you and really like being around you. And that leads to the most important part of our talk today, because none of this works if it's just an act. The real power comes from being the real you, not from trying to pull a fast one. The most important thing to keep in your heart is that none of this should ever be used as a trick or a way to control someone. The very second you start thinking of it as a strategy to get what you want, you lose the very thing that makes it work. Women are often much better at feeling what is real than men realize. They can usually tell when someone is being honest and when someone is just acting a certain way to get something. That is why being your real self matters more than any of the other things we talked about. You should move slowly because you are honestly at peace with yourself, not because a guide told you it would work. You should look at her with kindness because you truly like the person she is, not because you are looking for a prize. You should be okay with silence because you know you are worth it, and you don't have to prove it every second, not because it's a technique. When these things come from a real place inside you, the whole world feels different. Your confidence feels like a natural part of you, instead of something you put on like a heavy coat. Your presence becomes something that calms people down instead of making them nervous. Instead of trying so hard to wow people, you start making a world where they can just breathe and be themselves. This is why the men who leave the deepest mark on others are usually not the ones who yell the loudest or have the most money. They are the men who make others feel safe, heard, and comfortable. They are the men who know how to be fully there without demanding that everyone look at them. If this talk felt right to you and touched your heart, Please stay connected with us for more of these conversations in the future. And before you go, I would love to hear your story. Which of these three things is the hardest for you to do right now? Is it moving slowly without rushing? Is it keeping a strong but kind look in your eyes? Or is it being okay with the quiet moments of silence? Please let me know in the comments. I read them because I care. At the end of the day, attraction isn't about trying to turn into a different person. It is about becoming more and more okay with the man you already are. And when a woman feels that calm, quiet confidence coming from you, she will remember that feeling for a very long time, even after you have both gone home for the day.